What's going on? I am here, and a little bit of a disappointing news that came out last night, but it's all good. I guess so. I mean, I would have expected things to dump a little bit more. Things are red, but it wasn't what I expect after an announcement from, I would say, Trump saying that there's a Strategic Bitcoin Reserve in effect from his executive order last night. So, yeah, what happened was, things are red. The fear is still there. The fear and greed index is at 34. It's going up. Obviously, it says, yesterday was 25 and last week was 16. So it's going up. But it isn't what I expected after an executive order declaring a strategic Bitcoin as a reserve. So, yeah, when I saw this, I was looking out for it. I was like, so I was like, yeah, that's good news. Same thing. I saw this article and I looked into it and I was like, yeah. I read it and I guess I glanced over it, and then I noticed that the markets were dumping. Like every single coin and token that I have, like in my watch list that I have in CoinMarketCap, was just down. So, and I had a community member, somebody in my Discord, we were just chatting about it. It was like, why on earth is everything dumping at this news? So when I looked into it further, I started really reading into the lines, and then I started looking for more information, and I found this post from David Sachs, and I guess it cleared things up. So he said, just a few minutes ago, Trump signed an executive order to establish the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. So I'm like, yeah. So then it's like, the reserve will be capitalized with Bitcoin owned by the federal government that was forfeited as part of criminal or civil asset forfeiture proceedings. This means it will not cost the taxpayers a dime. So it's like, So, hold up. I thought something was weird. Yeah, so I was thinking, so this means that this strategic Bitcoin reserve is only going to accumulate Bitcoin from confiscating from criminals. Confiscating Bitcoin from criminals. And it also says there's a separate, in addition, the executive order establishes a U.S. digital asset stockpile consisting of digital assets other than Bitcoin forfeited in criminal or civil proceedings. I'm like, I guess I didn't really get that from this article, I guess, but it was this brief summary of of this, I guess. So that's like, I don't know, a little disappointing. What I said when I was having the discussion in my Discord, I'm like, well, why don't they just use the savings from Doge to put it all into Bitcoin? So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I don't know why this means it won't cost taxpayers a dime. However, there's something here that says it sounds like a loophole. The Secretaries of Treasury and Commerce are authorized to develop budget-neutral strategies for acquiring additional Bitcoin, right? Provided that those strategies have no incremental cost to American taxpayers, right? So that sounds like a really pretty good loophole. So yeah, I mean, the news was kind of disappointing across the board, and obviously that's why things were dumping a little bit last night. And it's red today, but it's not much, not too much red. It's not like Bitcoin went back down to, like 80, which it probably will. I mean, there's a lot of stuff about, a lot of people analyzing and saying, Bitcoin is going to go down to like 75, and some people have been saying like 69. I don't think that's kind of crazy, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Big J, what's going on, man? Yeah, what's going on? Good morning to you. Yeah, I've been having these weird nights. Usually I prefer to do my streams in the evening, but I've been getting like overly tired, like streaming early, like 6 p.m. Like, ooh. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know, I was on the computer last night. I was on Discord and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a morning thing for me from now on. Yeah. What's going on though? How's Croak? How's Croak? You know, Croak to the moon. You know, I got a lot of hope for that project. Croak and Caspi. I think my top two plays are Currency 20. Yeah, but other than all of this stuff, we have the Senate passes Bitcoin Strategic Texas Senate. So this is at the state level. So, which is a good thing. The states are doing their own thing, which is very bullish for crypto, very obviously for Bitcoin, and very bullish for crypto across the board. Yeah, let's go over these headlines.
Okay, let's talk about the top stories. First, sticking with Solana. Solana Labs co-founder Anatoly Yakovenko weighed in on a U.S. strategic crypto reserve. President Trump thinks that Solana, along with other altcoins, should be included. But Yakovenko shared his thoughts in a post on X. Instead, he argued for no reserve at all, citing government control as a risk to decentralization. He suggested that if a reserve were to happen, it should either be run at a state level as a macroeconomic hedge, or if it's based on objectively measurable requirements.
Whoa, state level. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, I don't know. A Bitcoin strategic reserve doesn't necessarily mean government control as long as it's a proof of work coin. So Solana. There is a token called Solana. This stupid ass token. Solana. Yeah, it's proof of stake. Anything proof of stake is controlled and centralized, and the government can do whatever they want. But you can't do that with Bitcoin. You can't do that with Doge, and you can't do that with Caspa. So there's very, very few coins that are actually worth it that that I consider them to qualify to be in any type of crypto reserve. I was surprised when I saw Cardano and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Requirements. Now, other cryptocurrencies mentioned by President Trump include Cardano, XRP, which is tied to Ripple, and of course, Bitcoin and Ether. Next, Russian crypto exchange.
Yeah, all of it. XRP sucks. What was it, like 100% pre-allocation? Ethereum is 60% pre-allocation. It's just nuts. Ethereum sucks on so many more levels. I mean, it's slow, high gas fees. It's at least Solana, it's proof of stake, but it beats Ethereum in that regard.
Garantech says Tether blocked wallets holding around $28 million. A translation of the exchange's Telegram announcement says Tether has entered the war against the Russian crypto market and told customers that it's temporarily suspending all services, including withdrawals.
That's what I was talking about too. Centralized, USDT, USDC, centralized. I get people asking me about that, keeping your money on one of these stable coins. I'm like, no, I mean, they can just do whatever they want. It's centralized. They can just freeze your address and then you're done. So proof of work all the way, nothing else.
The U.S. Treasury sanctioned Garantech back in April 2022, citing it as an enabler for ransomware. We reached out to Tether for comment, but didn't hear back right away. Last, New York lawmakers just moved to protect investors from crypto fraud and rug pulls. The proposal would penalize companies and individuals from a fine, prison time, or both. Now, this comes around hype and meme tokens, which often heavily favor issuers who can control a vast majority of token circulation. Last week, the SEC issued guidance that most meme coins do not fall under its regulation, but may be pursued by other federal or state agencies.
Got my Milo's here. This is interesting. If anybody knows this brand, Milo's Lemonade. I used to drink the Milo's sweet tea, extra sweet tea, the purple one, but I just cut it off from caffeine, so can't have tea. But the reason why I'm saying this, I was freaking surprised. Usually I could only get this in Alabama. I don't know if I found these in upstate New York. I was like, holy crap. Yeah, Milo's Lemonade. Anyways, what else we got going on? Croak has been trending top 5 for weeks. Yeah. It is holding strong. Yeah. Oh man, I hope so. Yeah. I mean, we are going to be billionaires, you know, billions and billions.
Billions and billions.
Yeah. I mean, with the amount of Croak and Caspi and Nacho and a few others, amount of, you know, tokens you can accumulate now that the markets are down and so low, and other coins too, you know, base chain, whatever. I mean, it's just this month is the month that they can actually make millionaires for, you know, December and January of next year. What else we got going? Yeah, I found this to be funny. I've been double checking my crypto address. Okay, so me double checking my crypto address before making a $69 transaction.
We are in tau mata whakatangi hanga ko au o tamatea juripu kaka piki maunga horo nuku foka iwi he nua ki tana tahu.
What the hell is that? Anyway, yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, always check your address and make sure you're not sending to the wrong address or the wrong chain or something, because you don't want to lose crypto. Like I've done that before, like years and years and years ago. It's been like a couple bull runs since I've done something like that. But yeah, if you're a noob, yeah, just be very careful. What else? After 2 weeks of barely buying Bitcoin, BlackRock is back buying it again. They now hold 51 billion BTC. Yeah. So yeah, bullish news across the board. I mean, anybody thinks that we've entered the bear market and are going to be in the bear market for the next, 4 years, you got to wake up. So more bullish news though. Senator Loomis will co-host a DC summit on March 11th, bringing other top executives, public officials, and policy experts to shape America's Bitcoin strategy. So, yeah, I mean, that's happening today, right? That's happening like later this afternoon and so on. So, or something like that. So yeah, I mean, bullish news. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the market starts pumping. It probably will, whatever comes out of it, because we go back to this loophole that I was talking about. Maybe they're going to announce something that's, something they're planning, something that's going to take place. Let me close out some of these tabs. So, yeah. Other news. I was looking at this. So, this is from the chief legal officer of Coinbase. So we know that the previous SEC's regulation by enforcement approach to cost Americans innovation, global leadership, and jobs. But how much did it cost the taxpayer dollar? How much did it cost in taxpayer dollars? So that was an interesting question, right? So Coinbase submitted what is it? FOIA requesting, asking a request asking the SEC to explain how much of its war on crypto cost the taxpayers. So, yeah, I mean that's very interesting. We hope to find out. Blah blah blah. It's very interesting. So we'll never stop fighting for government transparency on behalf of our customers and this industry. It may take some time to get the full picture, but I think we've shown that we will do what it takes for as long as it takes. So yeah, I mean that is interesting. Yeah. So in these lawsuits that the SEC brings against, Ripple and others, it costs X amount of dollars, for Ripple or Kraken or whatever lawsuit it is, it costs like tens of millions or $100 million to defend against the SEC. But the SEC, obviously, they're using government funds, they're using taxpayer dollars, they're hiring their own lawyers, and it probably costs the SEC 5 times more than it costs the private sector to defend against the SEC. So it costs the SEC, freaking $1 billion or whatever it is. Who the hell knows to attack some of these other exchanges. So yeah, that is interesting. Anyways, that's that. Other bullish news. I was looking at this. I was looking at Bitcoin balance. and on exchanges. So it's interesting that over time the balance of Bitcoin on exchanges is just decreasing. And I mean, that's only going to cause the cost of Bitcoin to increase, right? Because there's going to be less and less supply, and the demand is just continuing to increase. Now, what I saw this yesterday, this little spike with exchanges, this was like when the tariffs were announced, like on January 2nd, it was a Saturday, right? Everybody, obviously everybody's just, oh my God, there's tariffs. Let me sell my Bitcoin, let me sell my crypto. So everybody's fearful. And they sell back to the exchanges. And so that's why the balance is increased. Slap those people for, I don't know, why being scared. So yeah, I mean, shit starts dumping. People are taking profits and shit is dumping. And then there's announcements about tariffs. And what happens is less people buy because they're scared. And rightfully so. We should be expecting some sort of a little bit of economic trouble in the next couple of months before things stabilize. So there could be job losses. So rightly so for some people, they don't want to buy into Bitcoin and want to hold some cash on hand for emergency, which I recommend. But other people are selling. I don't know why you would sell unless you just have nothing but crypto and don't have any cash. I mean, that could be the case. I don't know. Why would you sell? Because there are tariffs announced. It's just, but the dip makes me want to buy. So anyways, that is that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Twitch. I'm streaming on Twitch as well. Hit that like button.
Speaking of being friendly, did you know that the most friendliest thing that you can do today is to give that like button a pound? Seriously, I'm looking for some new friends, and if you want to be my friend, just hit that like button. I'm like the friendliest guy on the planet. Trust me. And by the way, if you don't like this video, give me a thumbs down so I can track you down and beat you senseless.
Hit that like button. Do it. I'll catch you guys later.